Welcome back to Transport Fever 2, and over to California with today's episode in the second third of the 20th century, meaning essentially 1930s, yep, to 1950s in this case. Let's get started, and over to, I guess, Howard Hughes. So yeah, let's see what he has to bring us. And hopefully, of course, that means that we should end up with that plane as seen on the screen, which is more than just a single passenger. So hopefully we can get some money out of this. Away from the Swiss Alps, which was the last episode, where I could not make money on trains to save my life.
You know a few things about bookkeeping.
Well, maybe not. Gotta be said.
Well enough that a young heir to millions has contracted you to run his businesses for him.
Poor guy.
You have a general power of attorney.
Even worse.
To fulfill any and all of his wishes. Do whatever you can to help expand his empire. Make Mr. Howard Hughes the richest man in the world. Your client wants nothing less than to produce the most phenomenal film in the history of Hollywood. It's supposed to revolve around an epic dogfight during the First World War. Mr. Hughes needs loads of authentic aircraft to accomplish this, and you're supposed to dig them up. But there are hardly any planes left of the ones called for. Contact everyone who still owns suitable examples. Acquire all of the old airplane models that are still available for Mr. Hughes. If only so that any competitors won't be able to use the planes for their own film project.
Okay, so I need to basically click on the question marks. What? Who built that house? How does anyone even get out here? No one knows.
A famous actress owns 3 of the right models and would entrust them to you, if you take care of having the road to her mansion asphalted.
What road? Build a road to the villa? There is no road. Okay, fine. Let's just go for roads. And where we're going, we do actually seems need roads. So yeah, this is, I guess, going to be extended from either here or here. I'm just going to go for this one. Wow. Okay, so I have $499 million. So I guess a small sort of road out here, connected there, should do the job. Okay, is that is that it? You're not going to give me anything else? Fine, we'll leave that alone. And okay, so airport in Bakersfield. Well, I've already done that pretty much. It says find Junkers F13 airplanes. Doesn't really show me any airplanes that I can see. No, at the villa. Whoops, no. Nothing really I can click on here. And in Los Angeles. Oh, there's another question mark there.
Mr. Filippo, a star on the local music scene, would hand over an airplane if you shoot your film with sound instead of as a silent film. That requires precise calibration of the microphones.
Okay, so the noise level in Los Angeles exceeds a value of 64. Presumably that means I just have to make lots of noise with maybe some demolition stuff going, but we'll come back to that one. In fact, it's already at 54, so maybe we just have, I don't know, a bus route or something. We'll see. Acquiring airplanes, that's fine. And then let's take a look at here. Training staff
would sell their airplanes, but they're concerned about how the planes will be treated. Guarantee that the planes remain intact by training skilled stunt pilots.
Okay, so we just have to basically do 5 takeoffs and landings at the airfield in Bakersfield. Fine, we can take a look at buy some vehicles. There's a few different kinds. There is even a cargo aircraft, which seems perhaps a little bit early for this, but maybe not. Certainly not as efficient as these days. In any case, Junker F13, let's just buy, that's the cheapest one we can get. Yep, 264,000. And we'll just basically assign that to a new line. And we'll add this station. And I don't think we need to do anything because technically it'll just take off and land, I think. Let's start it playing. Okay. And that should do the job, hopefully. are you going to take off? Let's take a look at our vehicle manager. Line 1. Oh, it's not assigned yet. Bakersfield, assigned to line 1. Okay. And let's just actually call it something. Let's just say that's a training line, training airfield. I don't know, touch and goes? Well, it's not even going to be touch and goes because, yeah, he's going to come all the way around and back into the terminal. Touch and goes, you just hit the actual runway, extremely slowly, of course, in terms of vertical speed, and take back off again. And that should get you going. Anyway, that should then carry on there. So making noise does not say how the noise level is or any way to actually look at it. So yeah, we've got to consider it. So let's take a look here. Quality, no charts. Does not show me noise. Okay. Just to contribute to the noise here, it's going up and down a little bit. I'm going to actually add a road depot in Los Angeles itself, which hopefully should do what I want it to. Let's just get that there. Yeah, it's nicely aligned. Gotta said, this doesn't really have a nice, you know, typical American, you know, block and block structure. Sort of all over the place. Anyway, I won't object too much. We'll just get some vehicles. Passenger vehicles, and this is a diesel. And capacity of 9. So why don't I just get 4 of those? Okay, buy for 400 grand. We'll assign them to a new line in a minute. I just need to get a bus or tram stop first of all. So we're just going to basically get something to go to all corners of the city. 3 and 4. Let me just make sure the right side of the street. There it goes. And then we'll just hook them together into a line. New line. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's running in a ring essentially, so I shouldn't have any problems there. And LA bus line. Then we'll just assign all those vehicles to the LA bus line. Okay, cool. Whether that will actually increase the noise or not, that's something else entirely. Well, it's 61 now, so we'll see. So complete the fights. We're at 3 of 5, and that should complete fairly soon. And here we are at 4 of 5, and 63 of 64 is our noise. So whether that will hit its actual value, I don't know. I can always buy another 4 buses if we need to. And hopefully they will do the job. Do we have any other cities around, by the way, while that's completing? We've got San Francisco. That's on the map. So, oh, and there goes the noise. Made enough. Yeah, nothing else to do there. Training staff, 5 takeoffs and landings. That will complete very shortly, I imagine. Are you coming in for a landing? Yes, you are. I do like these underslung, the lower wings, like the Pipers, basically.
Meanwhile,
I think they look much nicer than Cessnas. Changed my mind.
Now the film set has to be appropriately prepared, and it must be ensured that no obstructions hinder the planes from taking off and landing.
Okay. The film set has to be appropriately prepared. Stop an aircraft in the air to force it to circle. What? What? Fine, I guess. I'm not sure if they're going to run out of fuel. Airplanes in the area. Okay, so what I'm going to do... see if this actually works. Buying another Junkers, basically, so we're buying another one. Okay, and we'll assign it to the same training airfield touch and go route. However, we're going to basically edit that, and we're just going to add another station down here. Is it a passenger up there? It is a passenger. Okay. The station doesn't match. What? That is... Why is that a train station? Oh, it's a train station. I thought it was a runway for a second. It's on the map. How do I get them to go maybe over here? There we go. So yeah, they should pass through this circle at some point, at which point, hopefully, I can actually snag them out of the air and yeah, stop the aircraft in the air to force it to circle. We'll see. We'll see if I can do that when it passes through. Back in a minute. So they first came down here to the Los Angeles airfield from up at Bakersfield, and now I just have to watch until, if let's slow things down a little bit, if they pass through this circle. If not, what I may have to do is have them go into Santa Barbara and backwards and forwards. Even though that line says they should pass through the circle, it does not look like that's going to happen, does it? Nope, they're going to go right past. So we'll just amend the line again. We'll just say, hey, you, we're definitely going to go there too. Although maybe they need to be adjusted in terms of order, as it still doesn't look like they're going to pass through all that apart from the leg from Los Angeles to Santa Barbara. So if we just go here, and there is our plane. Okay, and it's still going the way it went previously, I assume, before it's actually going to get rerouted here. So we'll have to wait for it to go around again. And then hopefully we're going to go square right through the middle of the circle, at which point we're going to hit this button right here where it says stop. And hopefully that will make it circle. Well, we'll see. Okay, here's our plane. And it's going to go hit the circle. Hopefully this is going to be more promising. So I'll hit stop. And are you actually going to circle in there? Oh, you're just going to continue. It says stopping. Oh, wait a second. You know, that's annoying. I clicked it and it was over here. So we're going to have to grab this one. Okay, and we're going to have to hit stop right about now before it'll actually decide to stop somewhere in the circle.
Mr. Hughes' Aviator movie is in the can and now breaking all records at the box office. But your client already has new plans in store. He not only wants to shoot films about flying, he wants to own his own airline. He's already been able to nail down some shares in a transcontinental airline, but sadly not enough for a controlling interest yet. Make sure that your boss becomes the majority shareholder in the airline by acquiring more than 50% of the shares.
Okay, find opportunities at the airfield, the golf course, and the party location to acquire a majority shareholding in the airline. Okay, so here...
Mr. Webber bets that your boss won't be able to break the speed record for circumnavigating the globe. If he does, he'll surrender his shares to him. Now he needs to train to win the bet. Mr. Hughes has made it his goal to become the world's best golfer. You're supposed to support him on the way.
We'll accept that.
Your boss would like to have a place where he can practice playing golf with his current girlfriend, the famous actress Katharine Hepburn. First of all, a challenging course with interesting landscaping has to be created.
Okay, so we've got to deliver sand to the golf course. And what's the other one? Party location?
Throw a rip-roaring party for Mr. Hughes. Use a program of outstanding scheduled events and excellent catering to make sure that a flock of illustrious guests shows up who happen to own shares in a certain airline.
Okay, fine. So the first one is setting world record seconds in the air, 180 seconds. So if there's any point that I'm in the air for 3 minutes, I should essentially get this record. And we'll see whether that's the case. It keeps getting reset. May just be because I'm not on the longest leg of this yet, which I am right now. So we'll see if that automatically completes. If not, then I can just create something that goes on a fairly long loop. You know, sort of we go from San Francisco Airport all the way down to Los Angeles Airport at the other end, and maybe that will actually cover it. Regardless, it's easy for us to change that line to do it, so why don't we just do that anyway. Santa Barbara, yeah, you know, Santa Barbara, I'm not too keen on. Let's just remove everything but Los Angeles and add a station all the way up here for you. Okay, San Francisco to Los Angeles. And that's already done, apparently. Fine. Setting a world record. And the DC-3, isn't that the one that crashes all the time? Or crashed all the time? Or am I thinking of a different craft? I'm sure someone could Google that for me and put it in the comments down below. I thought it was DC-3, maybe DC-10. Yeah, anyway. Some problems with stability there, anyway. And, yeah. So, anyway, we need to get to golf. Delivering sand, as you might imagine. Well, you don't need that much sand. I mean, I'm sure... unless you're really bad at the bunkers. There we go, a sand quarry up here, so we can just ship it out there, just as you might imagine with the usual kind of approach. So let's just get this going. Sometimes games don't have to make sense. If you do like other simulator games, by the way, do go and look at the Epic Game Store. Farming Simulator 19 is free this week on there. So I do have a few videos on it on the channel. I do need to do some more of them. But for the meantime, you can get the game for free. So if you are watching this and you do have any interest in trying it, just go and redeem it, and then you can try it if you want to at some point later. Anyway, that's pretty good. So here we go. So sand to golf. Let's deliver them those. So one from here, going to here, and that's going to do. Let's just see what kind of options we should get. Road depot. What kind of cargo options do we have? For sand. Okay, so these middle two, and they are, well, slightly different in quantity. So 8 and 9 respectively. But the 9 one happens to be slower. At the same time, it has higher capacity. So, but only 10 grand difference, and I have a lot of money. At least for the moment. And it doesn't say how much sand I need. So I'm just going to get 3 of these, and we'll rejig them later. Let's send sand to golf. That's that one sorted. And then the other one is alcohol. So where are we producing alcohol on the map? Anywhere? Well, I don't see anything up here. Where are we going to get alcohol from? I really don't see it. I expect to see a brewery somewhere, and that's just a sawmill. Ah, there it is. Distillery. Okay, so again, not too much trouble. We're just going to bring it in exactly the same way as we did in the previous one. We'll just have a truck stop up here. Okay. And then we'll just have another truck stop in town. Well, in town. In city, I guess you can think of it that way. Put it there. And then a new line for all those. New line. New line, please. Yep. Oh, just that was delayed. Okay, click on stations. One over here. And one over here. There we go. Cool. And we'll do the same thing again. Road depot, buy vehicles. We're just going to go for this one. So we're going to go for the faster one. 3 more of those. And we'll send it to line 1, which is our new alcohol to party line. So let's say whiskey. Okay. And that should be that. We just have to wait. And then acquire majority shareholding is just like the grouping mission for all 3. So as soon as the other 2's complete, we should be good to go. And the eagle-eyed among you may have spotted that I put down bus stops instead of truck stops, replacing those. I'd walked off and came back and wondered why it hadn't actually completed yet. Yeah, it hadn't completed just because I put down the wrong type of stops. Anyway, the first sort of alcohol delivery should be arriving. There it is. So we've got a party going. And now we just need sand. Lots and lots of sand. Some of those should already be on the way. Yep, there we go. We've got sand on the way. So one of those should actually contain sand. Yeah, there it is. We're just wait to get this to here and we should be done. And here comes our truckload of sand.
Very good. You've laid the foundations for a course that arouses interest. But what's still missing now is the aesthetic touch and the necessary discretion.
Okay, so plant trees and bushes on the golf course. So as you might imagine here, we go into assets and we can plant whatever sort of trees we like. Mountain maple seems like a decent choice, maybe. And does it say exactly how much? Sprucing up the golf course 0 of 100. So we can just put down, yeah, we're going to need 100 trees. Let me just skip this for, unless we can choose something else. Can we actually use a larger tree? Can we just type tree? Mixed trees, okay. Can I plant those? How about a brush size? That's faster. Maybe it's not faster. That is much, much faster indeed. Although that does cause some problems with the golf course. But hey,
eye-pleasing green.
Yes, eye-pleasing. That's what I call it. Not entirely random.
He should be able to land his plane right next to the golf course.
He wants an airport next to the golf course. Of course he does. Okay, fine. There it is. And we get an airfield or a passenger airfield. He doesn't say which one. I would assume it's passenger. And of course, that needs to be basically rotated. So why don't we just rotate it this way? And we got a count next to the golf course, which I assume is going to be that. There we go.
The golf course is extremely exclusive. Now it's up to Mr. Hughes to improve his handicap.
Okay. Is that it? It doesn't say any more. Oh, there we
The owner
go.
of a golf course in Beverly Hills will be prepared to secretly acquire shares from third parties if, in return, you help to increase the popularity of her greens.
Fine. So presumably we're going to have maybe visitors via air. And there's no harm in setting up a bus route as well, even though you might imagine this is not the kind of clientele that a golf course needs. But hey, why don't we just go back to our original line, which is the training airfield, touch and go, at a station to be here. Okay. And are they already carrying anything as it is? So let's just take a look at this airfield. You have passengers. It says plenty of visitors. I'm not sure how many that means. But we have 2 in the air here, and they are resetting or going over to San Francisco. So it may take them a little while to get around the route, although we could just cancel the San Francisco one if we wanted. However, hey, why not? We'll just leave it and see how long it takes. And here we've got our plane coming along. Will it actually land at this airfield? Los Angeles North. Probably needs to rename that airfield, but it does look like it is going to land. So it has 3 people on board, and we'll see. Well, it doesn't say how many we guess we need to transport, so we'll leave that alone for now. So are you going to complete when you arrive at the terminal? No? Well, it doesn't say how many. Just plenty of visitors. Okay, we're just going to add a bus line. Why not? To shortcut that, I added a new road heading up into the hills east of Los Angeles and then across into the golf course. Rather than go all the way around this way and then back again, this is just a little bit shorter. Gets us going, and we'll see whether this actually counts as transporting guests. If they get like... Yeah, there we go.
Thanks to your dedication, Mr. Hughes has been able to secure a majority shareholding in the airline. Now he can do whatever he pleases. Up, up, and away.
Okay, transport 10 people by airplane between the airfield in San Francisco and Los Angeles airfield, and that's what I already set up. So we just need to basically remove Los Angeles North from here,
Wonderful.
And that
Mr.
works.
Hughes' airline
Hey,
is currently in the process of really taking off. But your boss already has his mind on other things. Instead of merely flying aircraft, he wants to build them himself. At any rate, the US Army has called for tenders for several interesting contracts. Help to develop prototypes which will soon be the pride of the whole nation. Modern aviation holds numerous challenges. Your boss is a genius who finds the right solution for every problem. All that's missing is putting the solutions into practice.
okay, so complete the task at the tools factory, the steel mill, and the sawmill. Let's look at the sawmill first. Click on the question mark.
Mr. Hughes is supposed to design a seaplane for the military. Since steel is a scarce wartime commodity, the gigantic flying boat has to be built entirely out of spruce.
A goose of some kind, perhaps. In any case, deliver planks to the workshop. So yeah, we're just going to deliver from up there to down here, and that is just going to go through Santa Barbara, which is fine, straightforward to actually do that. So let's just get this done quite quickly. We want a truck stop. Let's just make it up. Oh, yeah, just right there, I think. Nice. And then we'll just have, oh, well, a truck station, I should say, and then a truck stop where we want it, which is down here at the workshop. So you can go there. And then we just want a line between them. New line. 1, 2. And this one is planks. Okay, and then we'll just hook in a road depot, buy some vehicles. It doesn't say how many, of course, so I'm not going to worry about it too much, other than making sure that we have planks as the type. And we'll just buy 3 of them, and we'll just assign them all to the planks. That's that done. New
Mr. Hughes
mission.
wants to be not only the best golfer in the world, but the best pilot too. Assist him in making this dream come true. To achieve his goal, Mr. Hughes needs to complete quite a few training flights. Make the necessary preparations so that your boss can soon claim to be the world's best pilot.
Okay, land at the airfield by the golf course at least 3 times. That is relatively simple to do. We're just going to buy another vehicle here. An F13 will do. Okay, and then we're just going to create a new line which does nothing. All it's going to do is have a line attached to here. Los Angeles North, Los Angeles North, and then we'll just basically assign that. Line 1, Los Angeles North. There we go. That one going to line 1. Okay, it's going to do nothing else except flying around. That's fine. Delivering planks. What's the rest? Oh, we need the steel mill. Steel mill is what do you need to do?
The US Air Force has ordered 98 XF-11 planes, which are supposed to be deployed as reconnaissance aircraft overseas in Europe. Get your hands on the necessary materials.
Okay, so it's going to be the same task for each of these, I think. So let's just get this going. It should be, again, quite straightforward. We can just deliver to the same truck stop on the other end. So let's just get a new line going, one from there to the workstation, which is there, workshop, I should say. It's down there. And that is pretty much the same thing. This is just steel. And while we're at it, we can probably take the third one as well. So we want the tools factory. Yep.
For his latest project, Mr. Hughes is experimenting with the widest variety of materials and equipment. Make sure that his workshop leaves nothing to be desired.
Okay, and exactly the same thing here. So new line and workshop. That's a long way, but I'm not going to build the train station for it because it doesn't say how many tools, so it should all be fine. So tools, and then we'll just buy all the vehicles. We're just going to go to the road depot, buy some vehicles. We want steel, so either of them will do. So 3, and we'll assign them to steel. And then we're going to do the same thing again, buy some vehicles. We want tools, that again will do the same job. Buy for 3. It did actually come through, that's fine. And tools. Okay, so I've now got all 3 of them going, and they should go and go and pick up stuff and bring them back. And practice flights will be complete any minute. You just have to maybe land one more time. It's taking off at the moment, so I'll see you in a minute. And he's landed, so he's just going to come over to the terminal and hopefully complete that off for us. And the rest of these should be pretty much automatic at this point.
Heavens! Mr. Hughes crashed in the course of a test flight over the country club and suffered serious injuries. Now he's bored stiff in the hospital and tinkering with a motorized hospital bed. He wants to have a prototype built right there, according to his instructions.
So where's the hospital? It's in Los Angeles. And looks like, yeah, Los Angeles Hospital. So we're going to need to bring the same things down from wherever they are. Oh, there's the planks. We need steel and tools. So I think what we can just do here is just change the destination to a new truck stop once they're finished. So we'll just get a new truck stop right near the hospital. Anywhere nearby should do. So that's going to work just fine there. And we can just change the destination and stuff like that after the other 2 are finished. And here comes the first truck really full of tools, which should fulfill this 2 out of 3 thing into 3 out of 3.
Due to unfortunate circumstances, the orders placed by the Army were unable to be completed. As a penalty, Congress has now ordered your boss to fly the lawmakers around for free.
Okay, transport 10 people by airplane between the airfield in Santa Barbara and San Francisco airfield free of charge. Okay, so we can just change the existing line that we have, this one training airfield. We can just erase the Los Angeles one and then just add the Santa Barbara one.
After the unpleasant issue with Congress, Mr. Hughes has had enough of aircraft manufacturing for now. However, his passion for film has been rekindled, which made him promptly buy a production company. Help your boss shoot the greatest blockbuster of all time. Mr. Hughes's film studios have several sensational projects in the pipeline. Decorate the different film sets with the right props.
So film set 1, 2, and 3, they're all made obviously near Los Angeles, so we need to get those going. However, in the meantime, we can set steel and tools to the hospital, as we said before. So in this case, I've already set the steel one up because we already delivered that. Tools one, I can just basically remove the Miller Street station and add this one back in right here. And that's the Madison Street station.
Set on becoming the most famous film producer of all time. What's stopping him? The commie riffraff hanging around his studios. He has contracted you to put an end to the communist infiltration of Hollywood once and for all.
And if you don't know the actual story of this, it's actually quite an interesting one. If you haven't Googled it before, take a look at it's sort of the whole blacklisting of people who are associated with communists. I think it was in around the 40s and 50s, as I might imagine. I think it was 50s, though. So some people who were very good at their job and basically got blacklisted. Yeah, worthwhile having a look at that on Google. Anyway, aside from that, accepting it.
The staff working on the set are on strike. What nerve! It's the poisoned ideology of those Ruskies that fills their heads with that kind of flim-flam. Show those people that they're still in good old America.
Yes, exactly. And that will have to wait for next episode, unfortunately. We're coming up to the actual time for this episode. So we've got film studios, and we're going to be expanding into Hollywood as far as that's concerned for next episode. This flying ace will complete all by itself. We shouldn't have to do anything. So we need to resolve the strike and dress the sets. In fact, let's just see what these actually require.
A music film about the turbulent romance between two young Hollywood starlets is being shot here. Get your hands on the necessary props to create the right atmosphere.
Okay, so decorate the highlighted area.
The film about an enterprising newspaper tycoon is supposed to become an exceptional masterpiece. Help with building the extravagant scenery that's intended to form the setting for the drama.
So delivering?
Actress Jane Russell needs a special bra that shows off her assets to the best advantage. Mr. Hughes fiddles around with an idea involving special steel supports.
Okay, and finally...
A group of screenwriting hacks is supposed to be responsible for the pinko epidemic. Find out where these agitator characters hold their meetings. It must be somewhere in the industrial part of Los Angeles.
May as well follow these while they're there.
The communist forces are slippery and dodge your investigations. Stake out their homes in Santa Barbara and Bakersfield without attracting attention.
So that's Santa Barbara, and Bakersfield is right here.
Ha! You've caught the pinko rats in the act with a handful of ideological pamphlets. Now they have to testify before the House Un-American Activities Committee in Washington. See to it that they get there as fast as possible.
So just sell an airplane. Doesn't matter which airplane, so let's just go for Vehicle Manager and take a look here. There's 3 airplanes on there, so we'll just choose one and press sell. Yep.
So, the main culprits have been blacklisted. Now it's just a case of getting rid of their supporters. Clean out Mr. Hughes' studios by firing the percentage of the workforce who've been contaminated with communism.
Clean out the studio.
The commie threat is over and done with. Nothing stands in the way of Mr. Hughes' career as the world's most famous film producer anymore.
Okay, which leaves the Hollywood side of things to the next episode. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up down below. Subscribe, share as you normally would. Click on the bell, and if you want notifications for more episodes. Otherwise, best thing to do is leave a comment if you're enjoying the series, or if you're following along yourself. Let other people know and give them advice for completely dominating the profits that I'm terribly not. Anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for some more Transport Fever 2.